Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to draw that it should be scary. Hey, did you guys know it was Kraken week last week? I didn't know that. I mean, I saw like a post from Jeannie D and somebody else, and it was like, it's Kraken week. We should make a whole bunch of things about Krakens and D&D. And I was like, oh, I didn't get it first. And then went, oh, because it's Shark Week. And then I completely forgot about it until 10 minutes ago. Now, I didn't know if anybody covered this in Kraken Week, so I'm going to cover it. And that's when you're fighting underwater, what's a good way to represent the 3D environment that is underwater? Because, you know, when you're fighting in a dungeon, normal D&D, it's, you know, top down or whatever. You've got Bill the fighter and Bill the zombie, and, you know, they're going to fight each other. And, you know, there's only so many directions Bill the fighter can go. He can go that way, that way, that way, or that way. Or, you know, that way. But that's it, right? But what about when you're underwater? So, I don't know if anybody's ever covered this before, but being a fan of superheroes, we had lots of fights underwater and flying fights, and we had to come up with a way to do it. Now, I don't think I invented this. I don't remember who did. It might have been my friend Jeff, but I'm not sure. I want to say it was Jeff, but I could be wrong. Anyways, erase. Like I'm drawing like Hank, except, you know, nowhere as good as Hank. And, you know, somebody may have covered this during Kraken Week. I don't know. So when running a fight underwater, or a flying fight, or a spaceship fight, you run it as if it was a side-scrolling video game. Okay? At least that's how I do it. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but that's how I do it. Let's see. So, where's the paintbrush? So, like, let's say this is ground zero, right? This is ground zero. All right, and here's the surface of the water, or the whatever. So instead of top down, because you're fighting in water or outer space or flying fights, you do it as a side scroller. So Bill might be here, you know, but Incredible Flying or Swimming Boy might be here. Well, Incredible Swimming Boy has really long legs. And, you know, another flying supervillain, whatever, might be up here. You know, because not only in underwater do you have forward, back, left, right, you have up and down. And you can't really do 3D up and down when you're doing top down. But if you do side to side, then you have all 3 dimensions. And you can even do things like, oh, wait, I'm up here, but I can shoot this guy. Pew, 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 oh no! Over here because I'm 3D, and, you know, the movement in a 3D underwater or flying or spaceship fight is done the same way you would do a side scroller. You can do up and down, left and right, backwards. You can do squiggly things because you're up and down. You can do cool dive rolls and other things because you're looking at it from the side. But yeah, and now, if you have access to a drawing program and you're doing it online, you could do it as crappy as I did, or better. If you're doing it in real world, where you have access to props and stuff, or if you have access to a camera, you could use figures or dice, you know. 20-siders are good, because you could say, this is 20, and this is 1. So where your character is on the grid would be the number you put on the dice. So let's say round 1, Steve is at 1. But on his round, Steve wants to swim up or fly up over his full move to fight this thing over here. So, you know, swimming, so he moves his 10 over to here. So now he's moved up from here at 1 to, now he's at 10, so he would move his 20-sider over to here and change the number from 1 to 10. And then on the next round, maybe he wants to fly over here and fight this guy, but he's still at 10, so he'd just move his 20-sider over here, but he wouldn't change the number. But on the third round, he's like, oh no, I want to fight this guy over here. So he goes up here, and now he's at 15. And you just change the number on the 20-sider to 15. And then you just put 20 as the highest anybody can swim or fly. So this works for underwater combat. This works for flying, superhero combat, cityscape combat. Just any time where you have to think three-dimensional instead of top-down two-dimensional or side-to-side two-dimensional. Because when you're underwater, as anybody has ever gone swimming knows, you have access to a whole bunch of directions you can't go when you're walking down the street. When you're walking down the street, you're limited to forward, backwards, left, right. But when you're underwater or in outer space or flying and you don't have to worry about gravity or other things like that, then you can go in all sorts of weird directions. You can go forward, backwards, up, down, left, right, squiggly line, swim between someone's legs. Yeah, it just opens up so many different things. So it was Kraken week, and I remembered this thing, and I meant to do it, and then I forgot about it, and then I just remembered it. So here it is, my take on Kraken week and 3D combat using paint. Now you can see why I pay other people to do my art. Because, yeah. I mean, I would say I can't draw, but obviously I could draw. I just can't draw well. Hey, I'm Spider-Man. Anyways, that's it. Let me know if you like this idea, dislike this idea. I didn't come up with Kraken Week. I didn't invent this. I think my friend Jeff invented it, but it's what I use for 3D flying underwater combat. All right. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever. Oh, no, he got eaten by a shark. Ah!